Welcome back to the video here. This video is about the Stafford Gambit that I want to learn, to look a bit into its lines, how they are played, and then we are going to play some games, hopefully, where this will come out as a position. So it starts with e4, e5, knight c3, knight c6 is black's response. Not defending this pawn, but offering white to capture it there. And if white captures, we come out with the knight c6. If white also captures this, we capture with the d pawn. And this is basically the setup that we are looking for. And there arise various lines that basically punish normal development, and there are countless traps into this gambit. So hopefully we will get some good games after the learning video here, where I kind of try to memorize, understand the lines that are played, and then we will continue with this series. I'm planning to make a little series where I want to cut in all the games that I've played with the Stafford. Then I will only use the games that I've played with black then, and hopefully we can have some fun with this gambit. So the first trap for white begins with the move d3. It looks very innocent to me, defending this pawn. This pawn chain here is also pretty solid, but there is a very, very interesting option that goes bishop c5. Then we say white goes there, try to pin my knight to the queen. But I simply take here with the knight, and this queen obviously is hanging. If he takes here, I have basically a forced checkmate that goes bishop x f2 plus. The king can't take, has to go on e2, and then bishop g4 is made. So this is the first trap, the first setup that we want to keep in mind when we are playing games later. Hopefully we can get some interesting positions out of the games, and then we will look. Now we will go back to the d3 setup. Okay. Another interesting option in this is bishop g5, and as always the knight sacrifice there. But then what if he takes just with the pawn? I don't know if this is a move that is often played. We could also look it up in the database later. But for now we will constrict us to the analysis videos that I've watched and the lines that I've written down. So if he takes there, we have the option to sacrifice the bishop here, and the king takes. And as you can see here, the queen's hanging. We basically get a free queen there. So in this position we have a very big advantage, obviously, and it's a very interesting line, I think. I don't know if opponents will fall into this trap or if they know how to refutate these lines, or I don't know. Maybe we will see that later how it will work. Now move the bishop back, and the position I think is so. A quick repetition of the things we have done by now. So if this is the position here, white plays d3, To protect this pawn, we go bishop c5. If he pins it there, then we take with the knight. He takes the queen, goes there. This, and this is mate. If in this position, or let's turn the engine off. If in this position I sack the knight, he's gonna take it. I can simply take this. He has to take. He has not to take, but there is also, I think, this move. But then, what could we do? We have this check. Very nice. So what can he do? Only move is to take this, and it leads also to his queen being captured. So as far as I understand, it's a very good trap actually. So what if the opponent goes for another line, goes for e5? So we have this basic setup. I'm only playing this because it helps to kind of memorize the things, I think. So what is it if here in this position e5 is played? It's also a reasonable move, I think. There is another beautiful trap that comes with this, and we will look now into this. So knight e4 being played. Knight goes to e4. d3 being played, and this is just, it's a mistake because of bishop c5. Then this takes. Then we have the bishop sacrifice, classical. And now we have basically then two variants that we will look into here. Yeah, but if he takes this, it leads to this well-known queen loss here. So he loses his queen. If he goes there, yeah. So what is it if he plays this? Then we have again this. Only move is to take, and we win the queen. So also this move, interestingly, it's always the knight that's being being sacrificed here. So we simply develop the bishop here. If white takes, he's basically in a lost position, because after this, if he sees that if he takes, we can take his queen, we can take the opponent's queen, then he would probably go there, but it comes with this. He has to eat, only move, either take with the bishop or with the queen. I think taking with the queen is stronger because you have kind of all these possibilities here. So I would take with the queen here, because the king is very misplaced here in the open. So another line that we are gonna look into is this one. He goes there, I go there, and he goes d4. Then we have this nice idea of queen h4. He could play g3, kind of forcing the queen to another square. And what we're gonna do now, knight x g3. Okay, sacking this knight there. It's always the knight that's being sacked. I don't know what is it with the knights, but obviously they make a great service here for us. So he takes with the f-pawn, because if he takes there, obviously he loses the rook. Takes with the f-pawn, and queen e4 comes with a check. Let's say if he blocks here, I can take the rook. And if he blocks with the queen, I kind of might also take the rook. So basically, I want to repeat this line. If he goes d4, I have queen h4. He goes there, I sack the knight. He has to take with this, leading to this check. Either way of blocking is pretty much useless. Let's say this. This also comes with a check, so I think one or another will also block with the queen, trying to exchange it from a good position. And if I didn't see that I could simply take the rook, then it would be a little bit complicated. So if he goes here, I can take the pawns, I can start marching in here. I don't know if anyone would play this move, by the way, but only to clarify certain things here. Okay, the other variant is if d3 is played, we also play bishop c5, our very well-known move here. Then let's say he doesn't take, plays a sneaky move, bishop e3. We simply exchange the bishop, fx e3. With the same idea, we can go queen h4 with a nice check, threatening also all kinds of things here, I think. Yeah, g3 here is the move in order to not move the king. Yeah, this is not possible, but okay, but these moves were possible. And now the same story as at the very beginning. Sack the knight, and he's in big trouble because he eats there, and we simply take the rook. So okay, we will repeat this line in order to see, to memorize the things. So the knight's been threatened, I'll go here. He doesn't take, goes there, I'll exchange the bishop, go queen h4, g3, sack the knight, takes and takes. So we figure out now, if he doesn't take back here, I don't know what the opponents will eventually play here or not play. So it's very, very hard to say, I think, but this then would lead to the rook being captured with a discovered check. The way out is there, goes here, force the king out to d3. So I think this line is just insane. So we have a check here. The king basically makes incredible run here. So the knight c3 trap arises actually from this position, takes, offering the knight here, take back. Okay. Now in the fifth move, if the opponent plays knight c3, also a quite reasonable move, protecting the pawn, we play our well-known bishop c5 anyway, with all kinds of traps. Then he plays maybe d3. Then we have knight to g4. Remember, this is protected, so the queen can't take. So maybe white knows a bit about this position, wants to get rid of our bishop here. Let's say this. We can eat it with the knight, and then he has to take with the f-pawn, and we just take with the bishop here. So this bishop here is actually very strong, because we could support it if, for example, he goes there. We could support it here. And it's a very good position, I think, to have this bishop in. This was the knight c3 trap. We will go for a little repetition there. Okay. Knight c3 being played. Bishop c5. He goes there. Wants to get rid... no. He goes d3 to make this very nice pawn structure here. And we go knight here. Oh, this is basically... it reminds me of the fried liver, but for black. It's very interesting. So other refutations don't work because this, let's say if he pushes this pawn. Yeah, I don't know about this move. Oh no, but the queen file is open. Because of this, it's not a great move because knight xf2 would come nevertheless. So interesting. Can't take with the queen because it's protected, so he goes here. We exchange. Oh no, we take with the knight actually, so he takes with this. And then what we do? We go here. Okay. What does Stockfish say about this position here? I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit of an advantage. What does Stockfish say about this position? How this should be played? The queen here. Why is this not a good move? It loses a bit of an advantage because the knight can be retreated. Double attack on the bishop if it drops back. Yeah. Okay, I see why this maybe not such a great idea. So if this goes there, queen goes there, up. What does Stockfish say here? Minus 1.2, it's not such a big trap, I think, but it's this to me feels very positional here actually, although I have not a great understanding of positional play yet, so I don't know. We will see in our games then if the lines actually are working out that way or we have to improvise. This would also be funny because it could lead to various interesting situations. So we are looking now into another very interesting line. This is also a very, very beautiful line. If knight c3, bishop c5, it's just our way to play this. And let's say white plays bishop c4. Queen. We play the knight g4. Castles. We play queen h4. They play h3. And this is the mistake where this line actually begins with the knight sacrifice there. This is protected, remember. We sacrifice the knight here. It goes queen f3. Kind of the idea here is a double check. If we take this pawn, it cannot be taken because it's a double check. Then we have another double check, knight f2. They cannot take because it's double check. And after king g1, we finally have reached mate. So now we are trying to come up with this line and try now to sort of memorize it. Okay, the position is this. Bishop c4 has been played. So we go knight g4. Castles. The queen comes out there. Then what was the line? We have kind of h3. We sack the knight here. Can't be taken by the rook. This would lose. Okay, he doesn't take, goes queen there. Reasonable move. So we have the double check. King goes there. This, and this is checkmate. Okay. I think this is very understandable. I tried to memorize all the steps here and all the things. It's not that easy, I think. And now we have another trap that we are gonna look into. So another trap arises after the move knight c3, bishop c5 as ever. So let's say another variant, bishop here. Then h5 is being played. They play h3. Then I have queen d4 going here. Then let's say the best move, I think, what the stockfish say, is to castle. Quite a stockfish doesn't see the advantage because he thinks that every player would know the refutation of this. Let's say if castles, the advantage goes up, yeah. Okay. Knight g4, sacrificing the knight here. Obviously it takes. Then we take back, and you see that we kind of opened the file for our rook here. The queen maybe also sneak in, I don't know. g3 being played. Reasonable move. Queen e5. King g2. Bishop x f2. The king takes f2. Rook to h2 check. King e3. Why it doesn't go in there? Oh, because I don't see actually why this is not a good move. Why? Oh, because this is a mate in two. Go here, here, and here. So this would be mate. So this is obviously no good here. The only move is to go out there. Then we take with the queen. With a check, king d4 is the only move. And bishop e6 being played. And here black stands really, really good, I think. So the other line arises from d3, bishop c5, bishop e2, h5 being played, then castles, knight g4, h3, queen d6, here, pointing at a checkmate here, hx g4, hx g4. And I think now here after takes, we could just go in there with a checkmate. Can he do something about it? Let's turn on the engine and see. Yeah, he can block with the pawn, but it's Stockfish says it's a mate in 4, so we take this pawn then. He blocks with the bishop, we take the bishop, he goes rook here, we go there, he goes here and here. So in this line, where does Stockfish see it? Where does he see the mate? Yeah. If he does push this pawn, let's see what then happens. This is the refutation we take here. This comes out, queen goes there. Stockfish says minus 0.1 for black. That's not very interesting for us here in this position. But if the queen goes to d6 and he does the mistake and thinks, oh, this knight is free, it's a mate in 5. That cannot be avoided. So here goes here, here, another sacrifice. Now the rook goes there, up, here, and mate. Queen h1, mate. So I think that we have now our little repertoire to play some games. And maybe I have to look how this works out. Maybe we can get some nice positions where this is actually being played, and we will see how this works out. I'd like to take you with me on this journey. Maybe we can have some fun there, and we will see how this works out. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.